2017 클래시 로얄 크라운 컵 글로벌 시리즈 코리아
무조건 승리를 가져가야 되는 상황이 돼버렸고
4강전 올라가는 중앙 지옥 선수로 확정됐습니다. 세미 플레이오프와 플레이오프 6전 전승으로 마지막 보스 만나러 갑니다.
나이? 이건 상관없습니다.
체력이 결국 다닳게 됩니다.
통남으로 마무리하겠다라는 이 여유까지 보여주는 것 같아요. 결승전에 먼저 선착하는 최연서 선수예요.
지금까지 한 번 졌던 상대한테는 다시 안 졌기 때문에
3대 0으로 이겼던 상대이기 때문에
런던을 꼭 가겠습니다.
쉽게 런던 갈 수 있을 것 같아요.
We'll be having the best player from Korea going to the London tonight.
어떤 선수가 대한민국 1등을 차지하고 런던행 티켓을 거머쥘지 정말 많은 분들이
Will be the first player to go to London, as a lot of people are in the audience waiting for the result. When you have the youngest Expo Master and also JungAng from the semi-playoff and all the way through the playoff in the finals tonight, it's very hard to predict who's going to win. And we asked who is going to win with all these stickers here.
대형 석궁 장인을 우승자로 보시는 분들이 약간의 차이로
And at the end, slightly more in favor of Expo Master. As you can count all the stickers.
한가름이 날 텐데요. 먼저 결승 경기에 앞서서 준비된 이벤트전부터 함께
But before the finals, there will be an event match.
함께 돌아오겠습니다.
And I'll be back with the players very soon. Hello and welcome to Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea. My name is Jake Platt, and Simon, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited for this final day of the Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea.
You got it!
Yes!
Finally!
That's the first time since we've started that I've been able to remember it.
Well, it was kind of awkward for me because I was translating the beginning and I am also the one opening up. It's kind of awkward, but here we have the final day. We also have a very special event match tonight with lots of super popular Korean YouTubers, and also one of the players also who won the Crown Cup from the last season. So that will be very exciting, as I'm a big fan of 2v2. How do you like 2v2?
I'm not the biggest fan of 2v2. Like, I'm more 1v1 focused, but it is super fun to watch him play. Like, I'm expecting BM, I'm expecting people to throw everything out there. This should be really fun.
Yeah, 2v2, of course you have, it's not just one more person's power, it's synergized with the other person. It's pretty hard if you bring your normal 1v1 deck into 2v2. Sometimes it's really hard, but let's take a look at the playoff and how they got up here, as JungAng from the semis 3-0, and in the playoffs also another 3-0, and that's why he's in the final. Expo Master, after the deciders match, he has been sitting on that final spot.
Yeah, JungAng absolutely ripped through these playoffs. Like, he looks so dominant, and I don't think he's dropped a game since he lost to Expo Master.
Yes, and
so
that was actually a 3-0. Expo Master took him down 3-0.
So this should be an insane match one more time. Expo Master has looked absolutely solid. I don't think he's lost anything since day 2.
And also JungAng, not just the 6-0, the way he played it, the way he won, he actually brought in so many different decks, like Executioner, sometimes Miner, Golem, Mega Knight. I mean, he changed his deck every single time. So even Expo preparing against him, who was in the audience during the playoff match, he's gonna have a hard time preparing, and I'm pretty sure both players are ready to go for tonight.
Yeah, well, they do get one global ban, and each player will be able to ban one card. I'm pretty sure
Same rules.
Expo Master will ban Giant because it looks so good last week.
And it's always a question, the opponent for Expo Master, JungAng, should he ban the Expo against him? And by the way, it's the same rule, but best of 7. That's the only difference for the finals. But we do have an event match before, so we'll explain that to you a little bit more too as we go on. But tonight is the final night for Crown Championship Global Series Korea, and we'll be having a player, the winner, the champion, to go straight to London. Here we go. I need those coins now. I'm running out of gold.
I just upped mine up, but the first place prize, the difference between first and second is 5,000,000 won. That's about $5,000. That's a substantial difference.
Yes, that's a lot of burritos, you know. That's like 1,000 burritos for me.
That's a lot of chests. You know?
Yes, that's a lot of chests
You can buy a
too.
lot of chests for 5,000.
Yeah, you can buy a lot. You can get lots of legendaries.
With my luck, I'd probably only get 2, even though I open like 150 chests.
You only get Sparky, but Sparky's pretty good, you know, with the buff.
I still don't have Sparky. I've opened like 5 legendary chests in the last 2 weeks, and I've only got duplicates, and I only have 4 of the legendaries.
Sparky, people talk down on Sparky so much, but Sparky is actually pretty good in 2v2. I'll tell you what's up in 2v2 because I play somewhat of 2v2. I'm not the best player, of course, but I see lots of clones, like the poison to sort of counter. There's a clone, lots of lumberjacks, and those rages on top of so much force, it drives me nuts. And it goes all the way to the King Tower, and that's 3 crowns right there.
That's pretty much game over when they get that close. Like, Inferno Dragon is really good in 2v2 as well.
That too. And tonight we have the finals, and but right before we have best of 3, so it's not going to be the longest. We have Bakarni plus Ichan on the blue, and Kangchul and Beaver on the other side. So that should be a pretty interesting match. And sometimes on TV2, we just end up attacking, no defense, just attacking straight through one side and the other opponent straight to the one side and race for the King Tower, you know. And sometimes that happened in 2v2.
Yeah, that's a proper Hog Rider strategy, right? Just throw everything forward. Don't look back, just go for those towers.
Yeah, that's what you do. But you need the synergy, though. You need to talk to your players, and what I do is before I drop down, I have my finger up there so my teammate can actually see what I'm about to drop in. But these players, of course, they're not online. They know they can communicate between each other, so it's a lot better. I'm pretty sure they have prepared some decks for tonight's event match. It's best of 3. I don't think there's any prize for the event match, but still lots of pride, though, as they're all pretty famous in Korea.
Yeah, but the one thing about this as well is they can actually hurl insults to each other in the arena. Like, they're just sitting there. So you could start psyching out your opponent as they're playing.
Oh, yeah. They're ready. Look at those trophies. I mean, 5.5, 5.7, almost 5.8k trophies there. Bakarni on the left and Uchan on the right. And in red, we'll have Beaver and Kangchul. Kangchul literally means steel.
And it's
6.4.
6.4. Wow. It's Bieber. It's actually, I think he spells it the same way as the singer Justin Bieber. So I thought when I saw the name, I thought, oh, he's gonna, look like Justin Bieber. And then I looked at him, I'm like, oh, you don't quite look like that.
Well, he's a Beaver in Korean Clash Royale. Let's say that. He's a pretty popular YouTuber and also a player himself in Korea.
Yeah, I think he won something.
He also won the Crown Cup last season. He's also a very good player, but they'll have some time. They're just talking right now. What kind of decks do we need? Like the synergy between, I told you, Lumberjack Clone and all those troops are insane. They'll have a minute very soon to take a look, but they're already talking right now. What kind of decks do we need? Because if they end up bringing the exact same thing, then
you're gonna miss out on so much,
yes.
Right? Would you split it so that one person has the defense and one person has the offense, like anti-air?
I would actually go for like super offensive both decks. Like one person has a golem, or just one person having all the high hit points units, and the other person having all the push units. Like maybe like the Infernal Dragon, as you mentioned, some Prince or Hog Rider all the way in.
It really depends on how they want to play it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I really, really like Bandit in 2v2, but she's very hard to get to connect. But if she connects, she usually does quite well.
Yeah, she of course, even in 1v1, Bandit is a pretty good tool to attack also to defend in a way. But some of the cards, maybe some of the cards that we did not see at all. Maybe we'll see some cannon, not the cannon card, the regular cannon.
I really doubt we will see a cannon over a cannon card.
Whoa, seems like the music is on. They should be ready to jump in. Let's see, as we expect a crazy event match to happen, 2v2 between all the YouTubers. Seems like we are ready to jump into game number 1 of the event match, 2v2. Let's bring it.
Hooray!
Here we go. The BM start right now. And blue team with Bakarni and Uchan. Red team, of course, Beaver and Puncture.
Dropped straight away, but the miner comes out from red team. The Pecker as well. Like, this looks like it could be the start of a very, very dangerous
Yeah, the blue
push.
team can actually go all air, you know, Lava Loon. Oh, here comes the Hog Rider that you mentioned from the other
Ice
side.
Spirit behind it. That's
There's
good
a
protection.
Lumberjack, that's what I wanted. And Hog Rider will actually activate the
And he
King Tower
Oh
too.
my god, he activated the King Tower.
The poison is like the best spell in 2v2, to be honest. And poison actually does some damage, not too much. The Executioner with Tornado, but it's frozen.
Didn't quite get as much off, but the Tornado does manage to take out all the goblins as well. So that's going to get cleaned up, but blue team definitely has an advantage here.
There's some damage.
Double
Here's
miner.
a Sparky. That's what I wanted
It's
for the
underneath
event
the bats
match.
though, so it's not going to be able to do anything really.
And also the Execution. Ooh, nice zap there. Cleaned up pretty nicely. About as even, I would say.
Yeah,
Ooh.
dropping the Sparky underneath the bats.
Look at the face of all the players. They're having fun. They're enjoying this so much right now. Well, I was actually thinking of a super quick match, to be honest, but this is intense.
They're definitely playing. Here's a giant skeleton with a laugh emote and a
the balloon. So much explosion will be happening very soon.
The fireworks will be going off. And a freeze. Oh, the balloon. And a
clone. This is what I wanted. Another tornado spell.
The balloon gets pulled all the way to the opposite side. That poor balloon just doesn't know where it is.
Double tornado. I mean, that's.
There's Sparky, but it.
Ooh, the bats
again,
are coming. The
bats,
zaps. Zaps are resetting the Sparky. It takes.
Sparky again.
Sparky needs 4 seconds, but after the zap, needs another 4 seconds. So nice use of zaps there.
Zaps resets its attack timer. And as we see here, the Lumberjack is pulling forwards, dropping that rage on the goblins, but that's not going to be enough to take out that P.E.K.K.A.
Oh, the P.E.K.K.A. slowly coming in, but it is very slow, though, so they do have lots of time to prepare, but this Hog Rider is pretty fast.
I don't think it's going to matter. There's a great tornado there. Giant Goblin, Giant Skeleton just blocks the Hog Rider, making sure
everything.
it cannot do anything.
And also the defense, in terms of defenses, all the King Towers are activated, so they're also doing tons of defense in a way.
This is such a powerful push.
This freeze spell and the unlovely tornado. What a crazy game this is.
Bombs go off. It does take out quite a lot of that attacking force.
I'm already losing my voice before the actual final match. Come to Baby Dragon for the defense. Hog Rider actually going to no, not yet, but will connect with the miner. That's gonna be the first. No, not yet. But the Executioner does not connect. Tornado does not do damage to the tower.
Miner is gonna be able to do it though.
Oh, let's get the final damage. And Red Team will take game number 1. That was actually super intense with crazy tons of action there.
I was super expecting both teams just to go all-out attack, and what we got was an actual decent strategic match. Like, that was insane.
That was fun. That was very fun and entertaining. As even if Red Team taking the win, even Blue Team's having a fun time. You know, you can tell as they're like, oh, that was a good move, having the miner doing some damage. As there was just so many spells dropping down, tornado, the freeze spell, poison, and everything.
It's just insane. I can see, like, on the red team, the guy keeps touching his chin, looking intellectual whenever the camera's on him. Like, I wonder if that's intentional.
That's intentional. She knows when the camera's on. I mean,
Camera's on, look smart.
well, they'll have a minute now, just like the regular rule for 1v1, and this is what we have.
What do you think we're going to see this time? I'm going to say we're going to see double graveyard, triple poison, and quadruple goblins. I don't know.
All the air attacks were good. I would like to see double lava loons. double the lava loons. From both sides.
Double lava loon, double clone.
Yeah, that too. But we already saw a pretty good counter, which was a tornado. Actually, double tornado happening from the other side.
Yeah,
it could have been just mirror used, who knows. But in terms of defense, they were pretty good in defending both sides, I mean.
Yeah, but everything in that match was just focused on one lane. I'd like to see them try to at least spread out a little bit and bring the action on all sides.
I would like to see some bowlers coming in, you know.
Bowlers would be a good shout, actually.
As a defensive tool, also to push into your own attack. But the minute is up. I wonder what more we're going to see here. I actually want all 3 games here.
Yeah, me too. I think this is the kind of thing that, you know, it's nice and casual at this point.
It's very casual, but game 2 is ready. Let's go right in.
And the APM on these emotes is absolutely off the charts. Both teams throwing them out like they're going out of fashion.
Says thanks. Blue team's kind of angry that they lost game 1. Here comes the HUD.
Yeah, the Barbarian HUD. We don't get to see that much in 1v1, but in 2v2 it is quite powerful as it leaves a push all the way down to the tower usually. So how are they going to defend this? The poison does deal some damage.
There's a cannon cut. And Dark Prince is on his way. Even Elite Barb. It does so much damage. It actually gets pretty good hit. Tornado is not enough. Doing one more.
Tower
2.
Is gone.
Straight. This tower will be gone for sure. Even the slow. Oh, barely.
Yeah,
55.
But these barbarians are bearing down, but they get distracted by the prince's handsome mustache.
Oh, here comes a knight from both sides, and even the Mega Minion is chasing down the Prince Knight from the other side. And Miner actually dropped down from
Musketeers. That's a very expensive card here to play in 2v2.
But you know, the Fireball just takes everything out. But here comes a Prince.
Is he going to be able, if he connects to the tower, that's going to be so bad.
To the Ice Spirit.
And there's a Mega Minion. That should be cleaned up quite nicely. Blue team are on the edge here, like 55 HP. Even if like the Hog Rider sniffs at the tower, it'll die.
And Princess here, just dropping 1 damage, you know.
There's the Goblin HUD again. It's on the wrong side. If it was on the other side, it would have been bearing down on that 55 HP tower.
Well, let's see. I think that's actually a good distraction. So they can charge in, like having a Prince charging in from the right will take that tower down anytime. So they pretending to focus the attack onto the left side, you know.
It's a bit of a psych, but I'm not sure. There's an Inferno Dragon.
They want to make this push into a big one.
Oh, with the Elite Barbarians. Rocket comes out to try and take it out, but it just knocks the shield off the Dark Knight.
And actually doing tons of damage. Does connect a few times. Down to 580.
Yeah, both towers look like they might go down.
Ooh, the Dark Prince is actually doing so much damage.
If Red Team can hold on for just 40 seconds longer, they have this. But they do have arrows, which means that bottom right tower is in danger.
Let's see. They're making the great push. Here's the Prince charge into the tower, and that will be 2 instead. This may just be 2-0. Seems like it's going to be 20 seconds still left. Blue team can actually have something done. Dark Prince actually doing tons of damage to the King Tower, though.
But come on, Red Team, throw the game. We want to see game 3. Come on, please.
Let's see, they're doing some maximum defenses here. Here's the rocket.
It's not going to be enough. Blue Team, go out. Tears everywhere.
Ooh, the tornado, but that's not enough. Red Team takes game number 2, and that's going to be it. 2-0. Are we also going to have replay on this? I want to see a replay.
I don't know if like, the replay would be insane, but, like, Yeah, red team takes the victory.
Uh-huh.
I just want to see the last game played out.
Yeah, having the Dark Prince actually, because it's a 2v2, you oftentimes have lots of units together pushing in one lane. So all the area damage you have from all the units are actually pretty impressive, as that's why they also brought in Dark Prince for the charge, having the Prince, Elite Barbarian. They wanted all maximum push with the maximum damage as fast as possible.
Yeah, what do you think the Dark Prince looks like without his helmet on?
Oh man, I can only. It's I always think this is a weird thing that not just his eyes, his nose are also out. Do you think that makes sense?
Well,
I think
I
it's kind of weird in a
Yeah,
way.
but if you were wearing like a flat helmet and
Well,
you have a
it's like
giant
this,
nose.
and your nose is sticking out here.
Yeah, but if you're if you have a big nose and you're wearing a helmet that's really tight to your face, you're gonna need a nose hole, you know?
That means that his nose is like up here, right?
Look, I'm not an artist. I can't tell you the proportions
Yeah,
of
I'm also not
anything.
the artist, but that was an exciting, some crazy action of 2v2. I always wanted to have this event, and they actually had this event match between all these four players. Beaver, Gangcheol from red team, they took the victory tonight, and also blue team, Bakani and Ichan. They played a pretty good defense, but they did drop the match 0-2, but that was only an event match. The actual finals best of 7 is waiting between JungAng and Expo Master very soon, so we'll be back. Welcome to the final stage, the very grand final of Crown Championship Global Series. We have best of 7. We have the 2 players, as my audio is just going in and out left and right now. But here we go. Which decks do you think they brought for game number 1? Well, they'll have some time, of course, after looking at the band. Let's try to guess the band cards actually before that.
Band cards, I'm gonna say Expo and Giant.
Expo and Giant. Giant from JungAng and Giant from Expo Master and Expo from JungAng. Also, but Expo Master played pretty well even when the Expo was banned. Oftentimes, I believe about 50%, a little bit higher than that from all the opponents throughout the tournament. You know.
Yeah, but when he had the Expo, he pretty much looked invincible. Like he looked like he wouldn't drop anything when he has the Expo.
His Expo placements, the timings were insane. But before that, we'll actually have. We'll go into the venue, have Gyuri on the stage, and interview both of the players very soon. We're about to jump in very soon. Let's get to take a look.
네, 다시 문규리입니다. 자, 이제 결승 경기를
We're back in the venue. We were right before the finals.
위해서 무대 위로 나와 있는데요. 자, 바로 제 옆에 이번
Right
대회에
next to me.
아주 감동적인 모습을 보여주고 있는 중앙지역 한승표 선수가
We have
나왔습니다.
JungAng,
안녕하세요.
Han Seung-pyo, who has made lots of
결승에
dramatic
오신 거
comebacks.
축하드립니다. 순위 결정전
First of all,
3위로
congrats on
출발했는데
making it to the finals.
플레이오프를 뚫고 이 자리에
And through the
올라오셨어요.
playoff.
먼저 소감이 어떠세요?
You're right here. How do you feel right now?
플레이오프를 어렵게 뚫고 온 만큼 더
Well, it was a rough playoff, and
사실 오늘
as that was
상대가
pretty
가벼운
rough,
상대가
I wish to
아닙니다.
do well in the finals
패배한
also.
경험이 있기 때문에 좋진 않았을 것 같은데 이 상대에 대해서 어떻게
How do you think of
생각하세요?
Expo Master as an opponent?
지난번에 한번 졌던 상대지만 이번에는 제가 꼭 이길 수 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
Well, I lost against him before, but this time I think it will be different. And I'll be able to beat him.
각오 전해주시죠.
Let's hear your final words going into the finals.
응원해 주시는 분들이 많아서 모두 감사드리고
There are lots of
꼭 이길 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
lots of people rooting for me for the
오늘
finals,
멋진
so I'll
경기
make sure
기대하겠습니다.
to win
고맙습니다.
after tonight's match. She teleported.
오늘 이 중앙 지옥
And now she's right next to Expo Master.
1위 이번 대회 해성까지 등장한 선수 이 대형 석궁 장인 황신웅 선수와도 이야기 나눠보겠습니다.
Expo Master Hwang
안녕하세요.
Shin-woo.
안녕하세요.
Let's get to
네.
have some chat before the finals.
황신웅 선수입니다. 일찌감치 오늘 자리를 예약하고 기다리셨잖아요. 먼저 소감 어떠세요?
You're sitting up here for a while. How do you feel?
제가 대회를 안 나와가지고 좀 심심한 것도 있지만
Oh, I haven't been playing it on the stage, so it was kind of boring for me. But
굉장히 여유로워
Here,
보이시네요.
I'm at the
오늘
finals.
상대, 내가 이겼던 상대여서
whoa,
그런지
you
그
got lots of
여유로움이
chills,
더
you know.
티가 나는 것 같아요.
You're bored
오늘
because you
긴장
were not
안
on the
되시나요?
final stage.
긴장이
Are you not nervous at all?
좀 되긴 하는데
Oh,
네.
it is the final stage, so I am a bit
그래요.
nervous, but not
그래도
too much.
상대가
I think it's going to be all right.
같거든요. 플레이오프를 뚫고 올라오는 저력을 보여줬어요. 그 모습을 어떻게 지켜보셨나요?
How did you watch JungAng
중앙지용님이
coming through the playoffs?
플레이오프에서 6연승으로 올라오셨지만
Oh, he had 6 in a row game
한수 아래인 것 같습니다.
winning, but still I think he
아무리
is a level
잘했지만
below me.
그래도 나보다는 한 수 아래다. 네, 그 자신감 있는 모습 잘 봤습니다. 자,
Lots of
그렇다면 많은
confidence.
분들이 응원해주고 계시잖아요. 이분들이
There are a lot
결승전 각오
Of
전해주시죠.
audience and people rooting for you also. Let's hear your last words going into the finals.
런던은 제가 꼭 가도록 하겠습니다.
네,
And
알겠습니다.
I'm gonna take this
자,
and
이렇게
I'll be the one
선수들의
going to
자신감은
London.
모두 충분해 보이는데요. 과연 어떤 선수들이 이길지 또 오늘 어떤 모습 보여줄지 그동안 어떤 실력을 가지고 또 준비를 해왔는지 저희가 영상으로 준비를 했습니다.
And we'll be
영상
jumping
함께
into the
만나보시죠.
VCR to check out the players. Let's get to hear a little bit more about them.
많은 것들을 보여주는 자리가 됐으면 좋겠습니다.
그렇습니다.
대형 석궁 장인이라는 닉네임을 사용하고 있는 황신웅입니다. 제가 대형 석궁을 쓸 땐 상대방을 흔들어 놓는 걸 중점에 두고 플레이해요.
엘릭서를 최대한 나왔어요. 때렸어요.
순간적으로 멋지게 만들면서
메가나이트 정리되면 큰일 납니다. 메가나이트 정리되면 큰일
뚫렸습니다.
나요.
역시 당연히 마무리됩니다. 대형 석궁 장인의 대형 석궁 플레이는 굉장히 무서운 점이라고 봐야 되는 거거든요.
이미 준비한 수가 많기 때문에 상관없을 것 같아요.
근데 좋았어 이거. 이거를 막아낼 수 있는 가장 동남아밖에 없는데.
이거 느낌이
야, 대형 석궁장이. 대형 석궁장의 센스 있는 플레이.
체력이 결국 다 닳게 됩니다.
대형 석궁
돌리면서 결국에는 차슈더빠 선수 웃으면서 얼굴을 감싸 줍니다. 3대2 B조의 1위는 대형 석궁 장인입니다. 양
네.
선수가 전부 다 지금 뒷경기만 3연승으로 올라왔어요.
그 뒷심이 정말 확실하게 있는 두 선수고 몸으로 정리할 수 있어요.
만들어냅니다.
프린세스와 다트 고블린을 다 정리하면서 들어가는 또
마무리됩니다.
야, 진짜 이 선수는 이거 일단 타워 가져간 이후에 굳히기로 가겠다는 생각인데
그렇죠.
뚫어낼 수 있는 그 다음 수가 없습니다.
그런데 이게
동나무가
있어서
같이 들어간다면
경기 마무리됩니다.
결승전에 먼저 선착하는 최연서 선수예요.
웬만해서 짓지도 않으면 원래 내가 있어야 할 곳은 여기가 아니라 런던인데요, 형들.
와,
아니, 플라잉
진짜.
머신 타고 런던 가겠어요, 이러다가
진짜 가겠어요.
아무나 빨리 올라와 주세요. 누가 올라와도 상관없어요.
저는 중앙지역 아이디를 쓰고 있는 한승표입니다. 8강에 진출하게 될지 몰랐는데 이렇게 운이 좋게 올라가게 되어서 정말 기분이 좋습니다.
또 용마법 사용해주면서
적어도 한 판은 3크라운 승리를 해야 됐었고 그래서 그걸 성공했고요. 그다음에 준님하고 경기를 할 때도 이겨야 올라갈 수 있는데 결국 이겨서 해내게 되었습니다.
4강전 올라가는 두 번째 선수는 중앙 지옥 확정됐습니다.
도끼맨이
1200에다가 지금 독 데미지에다가
아니 그런데 지금 많이 맞았어요. 그런데 지금
당기고 오른쪽
네.
자,
로켓! 너무 세요.
네.
너무 세게 들어갔습니다.
마무리됩니다.
야.
전체적으로 멘탈이 좀 안 좋았던 것 같습니다. 그래서 3대0으로 패배하게 돼서 좀 아쉬웠습니다.
왕자예요.
네, 진짜 지금은 넘볼 수가 없는
네.
자리에 있는 선수입니다.
어른골렘 앞쪽으로 나왔었던 호그라이더라니요. 3대0 중앙지옥. 마지막 강전. 세미 플레이오프와 플레이오프 6전 전승으로
와,
대형
진짜.
석궁장인 선수 만나러 갑니다.
저는 맨 바닥에서부터 올라와서 경험이 쌓였기 때문에 대형 석궁장인 선수를 이기고 우승해서 런던에 꼭 가겠습니다.
형님들 제끼고 제가 런던 가겠습니다.
Well, here we have JungAng versus Expo Master. As you saw from the short video, Expo Master, he is a new player in the tournament, and he's the youngest also. And he was sitting on that finals for such a long time. Where JungAng, he's a very experienced player with lots of experience from previous tournaments, and he had to come all the way through the playoff.
Yeah, coming through the playoff is actually kind of a benefit. Like, you get more games under you.
That's true, in a way.
You're more comfortable on the stage. You played a bit more there. But you give away most of your strategies to your opponent in the finals, and then you have the opposite problem, right?
Well, I think it's also due to what they have against an opponent. He made lots of strategies against the player. Here comes JungAng, who literally used all 6 different decks through the playoff and got 6 wins, 0 loss.
Yeah, and him actually being in the playoffs was a little bit of a controversial point because it came right down to the crown counts, and he just pipped out June. He just beat out June, and that was just really, really surprising for most people who watch Clash Royale.
Yeah, a lot of people. And here is Expo Master, the one and only. He got the first from Group B, and also the only person who used Flying Machine. I think we may see some more Flying Machine action in the finals of best of 7. So either one of them has to get 4 wins to win the grand finals here. And his use of Flying Machine, it wasn't just so that he has it. He was actually using it as a counter tool against all the opponents. I think we may actually have another Flying Machine deck here.
Yeah, the Flying Machine was so good, but it was because nobody expected it really. And then when it comes out, JungAng was like, wait, I forgot this was added into the patch. And I don't think it's going to have as much surprise factor this time. Like, JungAng knows it's available. He knows what it can do, so he can build around that problem.
We have the bans, a Tornado ban.
And an Elixir Collector. This is usual for Expo Master, but the Tornado ban is interesting.
Tornado and the Flying Pig ban, not the Flying Machine.
Somewhere in there is a Hog Rider probably crying to himself in the middle of the tornado, in the eye of the storm. But this is interesting. This, to me, tells me JungAng is looking for hyper-aggressive Hog Riders. He's looking for miners, goblins. He's going to be doing a lot of aggressive play by banning out that tornado.
It was always a question. It's always a question. Do you ban Expo against Expo Master? Which has been the answer for such a long time for a lot of the opponents. But I think this is actually a better way. This is also hinting that JungAng may bring and will bring lots of air units in a way. And he can also trick his opponent in that way. Let's see how deeply he goes with his thinking with this ban. As we're not going to see any tornadoes happening for the grand finals.
Yeah, very, very interesting ban taking out the tornado, because even though you're banning it from your opponent, you can't play it yourself, and you have this problem where the tornado is such a good defensive card, and suddenly you don't have that available.
Yeah, that's going to be the tool, but he's all seems like he's also ready for all the Expo plays coming out from the other side. We mentioned this during the playoff when JungAng played lots of Giant. Giants are pretty good counter against the Expo. When the Expo locks in the target to Giant, it doesn't do any damage, and Giants will go straight to the Expo.
Yeah, but I mean, we have seen that Expo Master knows what he is doing with his Expos. He is the master.
Oh man, they had 3 minutes. Seems like they are both ready to go right now. See how confident he looks? JungAng's like smiling. Yeah, I'm ready, bro. Just bring it on. And we're gonna skip all the time since we got the confirmation from both players that they are ready. They are ready to go on to this final match. And we are going into game number 1. Let's go! JungAng versus Expo Master. Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea, the grand final, set number 1. JungAng in blue on the bottom, Expo Master on top in red. Barrel used for now.
Counters with his own goblins, but they are going to get a few little knife hits onto that tower. Not too much damage, and there's a Hog Rider for JungAng, but the Inferno Tower comes out, and he's going to deal with this quite easily.
And it does connect to the Hog Rider directly, so that's good news.
Yeah, I mean, both players passing on the 3 minutes means they probably expected what each other was going to ban.
And the Mega Knight.
Let's go.
And also, this is a good tool. Using the Hog Rider to take out the Inferno Tower and dropping that Mega Knight to have its maximum push. I wonder what he's going to follow up with on the left side.
Prince is going to be able to deal with that. The Knight,
Inferno Dragon onto the other side. This is a great tactic coming out from JungAng.
Yeah,
and
everything is attacking. Yeah, but everything was attacking that Mega Knight, which meant this Inferno Dragon is at least going to tickle the tower just a little bit. And this is really hard to call. Like, both players seem to be playing hyper defensive play right now.
Yeah, hyper defensive play is the right word for these decks, and they, well, pretty good defense, JungAng's. But this is the thing, JungAng has been very offensive with the Hog Rider, with the Mega Knight, but Expo Master, he defended everything pretty well. And what other 2 cards he's been holding for a long time now.
Hog Rider, but the Inferno Tower connects to the bats. That could be dangerous, this Hog Rider. Oh, but the gang of goblins will take it out really quickly. But will the Inferno Tower be able to take out this Mega Knight? He has to drop the goblin, the barrel, right in front of the Crown Tower. That's a bad situation here for Expo Master.
So after looking at all the defense coming out from Expo Master, JungAng tried to change his attack pattern a little bit. So, and this worked, and it got down to 1852. So he's going to try to change a little bit more here.
Yeah, the Inferno Dragon, the gang of goblins again to take out, and the barrel being dropped on that tower, but Firebolt straight out the way. JungAng having that Fireball means that Expo Master has to make sure his towers do not go below 400.
That was an expensive defense, and this Inferno Tower, actually Ice Spirit freezing almost every one of them there.
Oh, but that zap from JungAng reset the Inferno Tower onto the Hog Rider. That seems like a bit of a mistake here.
Maybe, but it's about as even as we're going overtime. Lots of Princess dropped from Expo Master. They are doing some damage, but they're super weak against any attack that comes from the other side.
So the gang of goblins does clear up that Inferno Dragon quite easily, and the balance here seems to have shifted slightly towards Expo Master, who has a bit more health on his towers.
And this Hog Rider was going straight, actually, Inferno Tower dropped for the defense. Yeah. Nicely done. Seems like we may actually go full time here.
Do we really want to see Expo Master be the only person to get 2 draws in the Crown Championship?
Well, let's see. Good defense coming down from JungAng. The log will do some more damage.
This Inferno Dragon probably won't live much longer. It's going to get taken out relatively quickly here. But the Mega Knight, it's looking like it might connect onto the tower, but another Inferno Tower stops that from happening.
This has been the pattern, but this may become a better attack. But nice Goblin Gang to draw out all the attention, but the barrel
Again, straight away that fireball just cleans up that barrel. It's really needed. And there's the Mega Knight again.
And this is the final match, and we've waited for such a long time. Now Hog Rider actually being dropped on the left side. Will not go to the Inferno Tower, connecting once, twice, almost
twice.
3 times.
Yeah, the gang of goblins there clean that up very, very nicely for Expo Master. JungAng again trying the barrel with the logs, and it's getting very low here. And he still has 1 spell. If that's a rocket, this could be game over.
Yeah, down to 730. I think he's been holding on to that rocket. I think that's his playmaking card here. 730. Few more hits from the barrel will be just GG if he has a rocket.
Oh, that beautiful zap, making sure those goblins got 0 damage onto that tower. And does Expo Master have the tools to defend this Mega Knight? It's locked on the ice golem, which isn't ideal at this point of the game.
Fireball also takes out, but he used the fight. Does he have zap to do all the damage?
Surely there's a rocket.
Rocket will not finish the game. With the log, it will! That's gonna be game. Expo Master takes it. 5 minutes of playing time.
Yeah, and it looks like JungAng knew what was coming. As soon as he got 1 hit on that tower from the barrels, he was like, yeah, this is a log rocket time. But don't worry, JungAng played absolutely amazing there. Great defense, great offense. Seriously, that was a very, very close game.
I think he could have actually hold that fireball instead of firing at the Inferno Tower and the Princess. The moment Expo Master saw the fireball going straight through to the tower, he was throwing the barrel right after. He knew that fireball was the only tool to take out all the barrel goblins, and right after, log and the rocket, that was game.
Yeah, I mean, everything about that was just back and forth, back and forth. Nobody really had an advantage up until Expo Master found like a rhythm with his card cycle and managed to just keep chipping and chipping and chipping and pressuring JungAng to make something happen.
Yeah, it seemed like for the entire game, it seemed like JungAng was actually having the stronger, the bigger ones pushing in. But Expo Master had everything in control. Once you have everything in control as a defense, then you can also make your offensive moves. And that's why Expo Master was able to win. I feel like he was waiting for the moment for JungAng to drop down those spells, because all he was doing little damage from the barrels.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all he kind of needed to do. He never really got a good barrel hit off. Everything else was caused by log. Was caused by maybe a couple of scratches from the goblins. Nothing was super powerful that was dealing massive damage to the tower in that game.
And that's how he got game number 1, but will he get more? Or are we going to tie up after? They are ready. They got their minute to change their decks. We are ready to go into game number 2 of the grand finals between JungAng and Expo. Let's go right into game number 2. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have game 2 between the 2 finalists. Very nice defense use coming out, and with the tornado ban, I'm expecting some air attacks, you know?
I mean, yeah, I can see some air being used here with the tornado being banned, but neither of these players really enjoyed playing that too much. And the furnace. Interesting choice.
Furnace to start off.
Oh, that was well timed on that Ice Spirit there, making sure the Goblin Gang could actually make a few connections onto the Furnace. But the Knight comes out, gonna take on this Ice Wizard.
Seems like with the Ice Wizard, he wants to have some slow... Oh, and the arrow actually misses onto the Princess.
Ah, that's a big mistake. And Expo Master has a massive grin on his face.
He also has to drop down the minion, you know. That's a lot more elixirs used. Also, the barrel did not do any damage, but still, missing that arrow costed him somewhat more elixir going through.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that that can cause a bit of a tilt from JungAng. We've seen that JungAng is quite an emotional player. If he's playing well, he plays exceptionally well, but all it will take is 1 or 2 mistakes and he kind of loses his rhythm. And a Royal Giant, what are you doing here?
This is I believe this is the first Royal Giant we have in the tournament.
This isn't ladder Royal Giant. Go back to where you belong.
Well, we have one now, and he's making this into a pretty big push. But the Princess actually doing tons of damage from the other side. Okay, did connect some damage, but not too much.
Yeah, I don't know if it was really effective enough to warrant having Royal Giant at 6 elixir in this deck. And another Princess dropped out for Expo Master. He is completely unfazed by that Royal Giant.
A lot more barrel. All the way back. Nice log to take care.
Yeah, that log was very predictive. Again, knowing that Expo Master would probably try to put it around to try and make sure that it doesn't get logged.
Expo Master is using his Inferno Tower so well as a defensive tool every time. I'm pretty sure he's just holding in that card every single time when the attack comes in. See, he's throwing the barrel all the way.
Beautiful positioning, and this time they get 2 or 3 hits off. No log to stop it. Misses most of that Goblin Gang there, but it doesn't really matter. It gets cleaned up by the minions and the Ice Wizard.
But this Royal Giant is climbing slowly.
I really do wonder what Expo Master's last 2 cards are. Holding on to 2 cards.
I think it's very similar to just game number 1, you know, but JungAng has the arrow spell to actually take care of all the barrel here.
Yeah, that Royal Giant is going to connect to the tower one more time. Uses the Ice Spirit there and the Knight to try and take it down.
Okay, 2 hits, pretty nice hits onto the Princess Tower onto the right top. And this is about as even again, just like in game number 1.
Yeah, and what happened last time, Expo Master just kind of kicked it up a gear right at the end. Managed to take the game, but this time I'm not sure the same thing will happen again.
He has been holding on to that law for a long time, taking out all the small units.
I don't think he really needed it until this point, and I don't think he needed it there. I think he just wants to cycle something out, like make sure that he has the Inferno Tower in his hand to take out this Royal Giant.
Oh, that's what you do. You need that tower, but it actually connects to the Spirit instead, and this is a giant push coming in from JungAng right now. Expo needs a tower right now to be placed. He's actually throwing everything. He wants to make this a trade here.
Yeah, he's not going for the defense, and that could be his downfall.
Oh
Both
my,
these
the
Royal
arrow
Giants
took
deal
out
so much
basically took
damage.
out everything. This will be game. JungAng will take this one with Royal Giants coming out the first time in this tournament.
Wow, I was not expecting to see Royal Giants. Like when we were talking about cards, I was thinking like, oh, we're never going to see a Royal Giant in competitive play, but here he is, and he seemed to do quite well, especially when played at the back and then another one played right next to him.
Every single cards are viable in this game. You know, you can actually surprise your opponent in that way too if they're not ready for all those kinds of attack. Well, Expo Master was ready for all the charging in units, the heavy ones, but once he had the furnace up, once that laser connected to the Spirit instead, that was a game-changing moment, and he knew that he could push to the maximum. What a nice strategy and deck choice that JungAng has brought to game number 2, and we'll go back to 1-1 now, tying things up.
Yeah, but do we think that JungAng will be able to carry that momentum forward into game number 3 and take that? It's hard to tell at this point.
It's very hard to tell. And again, they will get a minute now, Expo Master. Even with the defense, I thought he seriously got it when the Royal Giants came up. He had all the tools. He was using the freeze tool to delay the attack as much as possible, but Royal Giants were doing some damage, direct damage to the towers every single time. And his barrel was just not enough. JungAng knew exactly that how Expo Master plays. He just throws out the barrel and finishes off with the rocket most of the time. I think he has figured that out literally right now, and they're not even going to use the entire minute. They are ready. They're ready to jump into game 3. They want to carry this momentum. Let's go meet them in the arena. Game number 3.
So here we are, JungAng in the blue on the bottom of the screen. Expo Master once again on the top in red. Drops down the goblins straight away, and archers this time for
is
JungAng.
this Expo deck from JungAng? I can feel it a little bit. Never mind.
Never mind.
Graveyard maybe a poison also?
I haven't seen Expo Master carry that poison. He has the zap, which means he definitely does not have that poison. Hog Rider takes out that tombstone, gets one hit, maybe two. Two onto that tower.
This Graveyard Tombstone deck is a pretty good counter against the Hog Rider. I mean, oftentimes Expo Master, when he was using the Hog Rider, he was also using some Mega Knights as a tool.
Look how much damage JungAng did to that tower, though. He did so much work. Inferno
Change
Dragon.
it up a little bit with the Dragon here.
Yeah, I can't believe the Graveyard did that much damage to the tower. Like, he really needs to carry a poison at this point.
Oh, he does have the Tombstone and lots of small units
Here
to
we go.
counter
Oh,
there.
and the Mega Knight. Perfect positioning. It's going to go down, but it did the work. It stopped that Hog Rider from even getting close to that tower. But the Bats and the Inferno Dragon here. Oh, but the Inferno Dragon turns around to go for the Mega Minion.
And Expo is not pretty sure he's not too happy about that, as the lasers were about to land on the tower.
Yeah, maybe half a second more and it would have connected to the tower, dealing so much damage. But the Hog Rider gets 1, 2, almost 3. But that kind of levels everything back up. We have JungAng with JungAng with 1,100 on that tower, and Expo Master has 911.
Yes, and that's about even. But JungAng has been holding on to that Graveyard for a long time. Was using everything else but the Graveyard. He wants to make it into a maximum push. Here's the poison spell that we were talking about.
That poison is JungAng's poison spell, which isn't particularly useful for Expo Master. He cannot steal his opponent's poison.
Now it comes in. Here comes few golems as a defensive tool, but the Graveyard actually connecting few, not too much. Down to 500 already.
Yeah, but that 500 damage is so much at this point of the
Ooh,
game.
Hog Rider goes. Is it going to go straight to the tower? There's a tombstone, but
it doesn't
it's
matter.
not going to be enough. Even the log and it has to
Oh, it
do
doesn't
the
get a
maximum.
hit. The Hog Rider didn't manage to hit that tower. Then it was so close to
The
getting
Mega
it
Knight
done.
got a hit though, and this Graveyard may be the game-ending tool here as he drops
the
down.
Ice
The Ice
Spirit
Golem.
there. But the poison comes down as well.
Even the bat, but the poison's taking out everything, and that's going to be game.
Oh, no.
Oh, at the same time, what a crazy game we have here.
That Hog Rider came out of nowhere, manages to save Expo Master by taking the tower down at exactly the same time.
What? That never happened in my games, ever. Ever.
Both of us were here watching that Graveyard deal the damage, and we didn't quite catch that Hog Rider.
Just in time, and they have to still keep calm and keep playing this game as the Graveyard is keep doing the damage with the poison spell. But here comes that Hog Rider once more.
Double Inferno Dragon.
And this is a crazy push coming in. Can he?
Hog
Does
Rider
he have the
gets
tools?
one, not two though, but the Inferno Dragon is connecting to that Mega Knight. He's going to take it down very, very quickly. Bats come out as well.
Just to take out all the skeletons so the dragon can do some damage. But
Hog
Hog Rider
again
is so close to the tower, even the fireball dropped.
He's got 2. He's
Even
going
more,
to 3,
down
maybe
to
4.
7, down to 699.
Ooh. Expo Master is so close here to
Yes, but
taking that
JungAng
down.
needs to have that tombstone every single time. The Hog Rider will go straight to the tower. It's so quick.
Yeah, poison again, taking out those goblins that would have been used for the defense on that tower. And slowly but surely, Expo Master is trying to chip down that tower with his fireballs. In comes a Mega Knight, and the Inferno Dragon was dropped, which means he doesn't have his own Mega Knight to counter.
Nicely
Uses
done.
the Hog Rider.
Nicely done by Expo Master here. And JungAng just not having the best tool right now to go in all the way in attack.
Yeah, Expo Master knows that he just needs to defend and cycle for those fireballs. Here comes another Graveyard. Yeah,
Is he actually going for the King Tower instead? I wonder if he is. I think he's going for both at the same time, so it hinders JungAng. But the skeletons are doing so much damage! And that's going to be game.
Whoa!
Expo Master he lost focus for a split second there. Split second! And all the Graveyard, the skeletons from the Graveyard did all the damage. Maybe he had a spell ready to go, but if you don't focus for a split second, that's what happens in the grand finals.
Yeah.
JungAng will take a lead in 2-1 This game, these games has been crazy tonight.
Yeah, that
Simon.
Mega Knight connecting to the King Tower,
Mhm.
it was never intentional. He used that Mega Knight as a defensive tool, and it just happened to carry on. So I'm looking, it's getting low, and then suddenly all the skeletons from that graveyard just wipe out that tower. What a game.
I'm lost in words. Game 3 was amazing.
That's so
Amazing. Probably one of the best games.
It
I've
had
ever seen.
everything. It had the two towers going down at exactly the same time. It had Mega Knights connecting with towers when it had no business getting there. And then the graveyard just absolutely slaughtering a tower from 1600 HP.
Well, even at overtime, Expo Master had so much favor. Like JungAng, his last Princess Tower was down to below 1,000, and when Expo Master still had, I believe, 1,700 left on hit points onto his own, and JungAng actually did a great job. And Expo Master, maybe he was trying to have attack coming from both Princess Tower and the King Tower, maybe trying to take down either one, but instead JungAng was focusing on one graveyard onto the right type all the time. I think that made a difference at the end.
Yeah, but I think if Expo Master had done a little bit more offense, he would have taken that tower. I think him playing so defensively kind of worked against him. He had a lot of HP to work with. After the graveyard comes down and you've dealt with it, you need to push on that opposite side as much as you can.
The Hog Rider was a good tool. Actually got through all the defense, all the tombstones. And oftentimes he was also using the bat to carry on so that the Hog Rider can have the maximum push. Right now, JungAng leading 2-1, but Expo Master, and tonight this series best of 7. But seems like we're not having any 4-0, 4-1. I think this will go to the full series, 7 games. But we're ready to jump into game number 4. Can Expo Master come back and make it a 2-1, or JungAng will take the lead again and make it a 3-1? Let's go right into game number 4.
So we were talking before this final, and we were both under the impression that Expo Master would take this very, very quickly.
Oh,
and how wrong we have been. So yeah, Expo Master is in the red, JungAng is in the blue, and this looks like one of those games where we're going to wait until the final minute before anybody does anything.
Well, maybe, but last time JungAng dropped a Barbarian Hut right after the first 30 seconds. He was waiting and then decided to, let's just go with the flow and try to attack a little. Maybe Expo Master is waiting in on purpose. So, but this time seems like they are waiting for that 1 minute mark possibly.
Yeah, I just want to bring up, don't you think it's crazy how there's almost exactly 1,000 trophies between the two? Golem deck here for JungAng.
But without the Elixir Collector, which was banned from Expo Master, so we'll see what other...
Inferno Dragon is going to come down from Expo Master, and I think there's going to be an Inferno Dragon come down from JungAng as well. I have seen this deck quite a lot. Electro Wizard connects with the Mega Knight, and ideally you want that to connect onto the Inferno Dragon to stop it from attacking.
But does zap the Inferno Dragon, so did get some damage reset there. But the golems are connecting to the tower though. Got good 500 plus damage.
Yeah, and Expo Master doesn't have anything at the moment which will deal attack damage. The Bandit comes in, but they're both focusing on that Inferno. And the Miner comes in with the Mega Knight. This is dealing way too much damage.
Too much. Good that Inferno... Oh, the Electro Wizard actually did reset the targeting, so Mega Knight didn't do as much, but still, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, that Electro Wizard caused the Mega Knight to turn around. Otherwise, it would probably been another 1 or 2 hits onto that tower, and we'd have been seeing that tower go down.
A rocket from Expo Master already. Here comes the Golem. The exact same drops again, but we're down to 1 minute mark. We're going to see a lot more quicker moves happening. Here's a cannon card.
Perfect counter to the Mega Knight, the cannon card here, and the Furnace as well. But Poison comes down from Expo Master, hitting everything there.
And another Poison from JungAng, doing so much damage to the Mega Knight. And also the Inferno Dragon. So Golem does not go all the way to the tower. Maybe one will barely connect, but here's the Electro Wizard doing some damage.
But the Bandit gets dropped down, doesn't get to charge. And there we go, she does get the charge, but gets taken out very swiftly by that Fire Spirit.
Now another golem. Here comes the push. These pushes have been super great. The cannon doing some damage, but the poisons are so effective with the slow pushes in.
Yeah, and again, this Inferno Dragon going to work on the golem. The Mega Knight does go down. And these two baby golems are going to deal quite a lot of damage.
And
but
with
the Electro Wizard is trying its best to stop it.
So much. Even using the poison, he wants to make this into a stronger push, doing some more damage here.
Yeah, but it doesn't quite tie us up. There's the Miner again. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Is it going to be 4?
With the poison in the
so
back,
close!
also connected once. And that's going to be it. 2-2. We are tied up. What a crazy series of game we're having tonight. And
I don't know about Expo Master, but my adrenaline is absolutely pumping right now, and I'm not even on stage.
And with that 2-2, we're going at least until game number 6, guys. This is the Korean finals, and these two players are the best, and that they're not making too many mistakes, just slight little ones actually, but their mechanics, their timing, their control of the cycle has been superb tonight.
Yeah, and there hasn't been many mistakes. I think maybe one at the beginning from JungAng when he missed those arrows, I think. But apart from that, both these players are playing flawless Clash Royale.
And so we have 2-2. The Miner actually connecting so much starting from the beginning. Did favor Expo Master a lot, and not taking down that Mega Knight with so small hit points. That was the big tool. JungAng had the elixir. Seemed like he didn't want to drop it. Maybe thought it was going to go down anyhow regardless. But the Miner does have some hit points, you know. You do need lots of arrows from the Princess Tower to take Miner down.
Yeah, he is deceptively tanky. He has such a tiny health bar, but then when he gets hit by the tower, it just seems to do next to nothing.
So you do need to have some counters, but seems like Expo Master is oftentimes not really having the maximum push, but using his tools to maximize his synergy with the barrel, with the Miner oftentimes. Pretty sure he has something else prepared, but for now, he's been throwing lots of stuff.
I'm tempted to say there's going to be an Expo in this game.
That's going to be his hidden card.
I feel like this would be the perfect time to drop out that Expo. It's 2-2, just before the games actually start to really, really matter.
Game number 5 is ready, boys and girls. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have few more games at least, and this is intense. 2-2 between JungAng and Expo Master. Let's get into game number 5.
So the winner of this match will be on match points.
And one step closer to that ticket, going straight to London
And
as a
the
Korean
10 million
representative.
won. 10 million won is equally as important at this point. Spending money for the London trip. That'll buy you like one sandwich in London. Like London.
Stop lying, Simon.
That's expensive. Like, I'm from the north of England. Like, it's expensive down in London. All right, so we've had a bit of back and forth. A Tesla Tower for Expo Master. Hog Rider came out from JungAng. And there's the Expo!
Here we go. But the Knight, also the cannon card dropped.
Yeah, it
from
dropped
JungAng.
so much there. And that's actually...
Ooh, nice zap.
Yeah, Expo
Nice.
Master knows that isn't good for him at this point.
And that zap actually changed the targeting from the Expo
no,
too.
This is such a powerful push. There's so many hit points here.
He does have Tesla, but not enough elixirs at the moment. Expo Master is in trouble.
Oh.
Well, good thing this cannon did not connect.
Yeah, if that cannon was like 1 or 2 squares closer, that tower probably would have gone down.
Yeah, I also like to use this deck again with Expo with Tesla. It's actually a very good tool to have the Hog Rider going to Tesla when Expo is doing just free damage. But seems like it's not working at the moment, as JungAng can just have the Knight to tank it up. And also the cannon card is very good counter card.
Yeah, I mean, there are just so many hit points here for that Expo to try and chew through. And the problem is, he doesn't have anything that can chew through them either. Cannon card is connecting to the other tower and is bringing it
Way too
really
much.
low.
Way too much. Expo Master is holding on to that Tesla for the Hog Rider just like this. But if those attacks after the Expo connect every single time, then he will be in trouble, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're rolling the dice with the Expo, and the poison as well drops. Hits that tower, hits that Expo. The Expo targets. Oh, now it hits the tower!
Hog Rider will take care of it, and
it does so much damage. Still, though, even with the Hog Rider taking it out, it still manages to do 1,000 damage to that tower.
but next time he will have the cannon cart. Is it going to the right? Yes, it will. Knight
There's
trying
a
to do some
Tesla as
damage,
well.
but the Tesla actually
And
in
the
perfect
goblins.
place. The Knight
This is
taking
it.
some damage, but after that, the Ice Wizard, then after, it's going straight to the tower. So he
Does
has to bring down
JungAng-
the Hog Rider.
Oh, but it's connecting. That Hog Rider might go. It's going to go down before it even reaches the Expo. JungAng is throwing everything he can in front of that Expo to make sure it doesn't hit the tower, and it doesn't hit the tower before it goes down.
He has more than enough. He has the momentum right now. He's leading. He's got the lead, and he can actually defend pretty well. This is a big push. Even the slow coming down from the Ice Wizard.
I mean, Expo Master had so much elixir left over. What is he waiting for here?
He's waiting for the perfect cycle with the Tesla, with the Mega Minion there. But
Oh, with the
Hog
Hog
Rider
Rider
from the
and
other side.
cannon on the
Tesla now onto the other side. It does not connect to the Hog Rider. What a big mistake we have from Expo Master, and that's going to cost him the game.
Oh, he knew as soon as it dropped that it was GG from there. It didn't quite grab the Hog
Just
Rider.
one square away from the middle. If you place it right in the middle, the Hog Rider does catch on to the Tesla tower just like that. But this, a small mistake at the end, but a game-costing mistake.
Yeah, and that puts JungAng one win away from a ticket to London, and one win away from being the Korean representative in the Crown Championship Global Series Finals.
Well, we have some crazy matches, you know, but this game with the Expo, JungAng expected an Expo to come out. That was a very hard countering deck, if you say. Even the poison spell doing the damage onto the tower, and also the Expo. That was some incredible deck choice there.
Yeah, and I mean, I called it. I knew it felt like an Expo game. It was time to try it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you still have one more to fall back on. But I wasn't quite expecting JungAng to know it was coming and have the perfect counter deck.
He knew that he was going to use the Expo. He had the Knight to take all the damage from Expo, also the Tesla. When he had the Hog Rider going straight to the tower all the time, I mean, that was some incredible card, and the mechanics that he had, the timings that he had on game number 5 was just incredible to counter all the Tesla and the Expos coming down from Expo Master.
Yeah, and things like Cannon Card with the shields at the beginning work so well against the Expo because it has to chew through 2 sets of HP bars. So like things like the Dark Knight too. It's the same thing.
현재 3대2 매치 포인트 상황입니다.
And I'll translate this one too. Currently, we're having 3-2, and we're going to have an interview with JungAng before possibly the last set. How are you feeling right now at this moment?
떨리고 긴장되는데
Very nervous,
한번 더 이겨가지고 우승했으면 좋겠습니다.
but I wish I can bring the last one to win, to become the champion.
보였어요. 이 세트에서도 실수를 하시면서 긴장이 많이 되시는구나, 멘탈이 터졌구나 이런
did
생각이
make
들었는데 이후에
Few mistakes, some minor mistakes, but later on you really kept yourself together.
이걸 이길 수 있었던 그 이유가 뭐라고 생각하세요?
And also game 3, you kept on winning. What was the point? How did you bring your game number 3 back to yourself? Well, I knew I was losing at the moment, but if I just don't make any more mistakes, I knew that I had a chance to win.
자, 이제 말씀대로 한 세트만 더 이기면
And just like you called it, one more game,
복수도 하고 또
you take the
런닝
revenge,
티켓도
you win, you
가져가게
become the
됩니다.
champion, and also you will go to the
보여주시죠.
Global War Finals.
꼭 마지막 한 판 이기고서 우승하고 런던 가도록 하겠습니다.
And I'll make sure I win
네,
the last
알겠습니다.
one more,
자,
and
계속해서
go
한
to
세트
London.
좋은 경기 기대하겠습니다. 자, 그렇다면 이제 또 한 명 또 긴장되고 있을
Now the other
주인공이죠.
finalist.
대형 석궁 장인과도 이야기를 나눠보겠습니다.
Let's get to talk to Expo Master.
밀리고 있어요.
You're down by 1.
2세트 때 제가 실수만 안 했어도 지금 이기고 있을 텐데.
Well, if I didn't make mistakes in game number 2, I would have been
조금 방심을 했던
winning,
걸까요?
but
아니면 긴장이
I
됐던
made few
걸까요?
mistakes.
너무
Were you
긴장해가지고
nervous or
판단력이 흐려진 것 같습니다.
I think my
그렇군요.
at the moment I
하지만
wasn't
2, 3세트
too decisive at the moment.
10세트에서 원점으로 되돌려놓고 이런 과정에서 그 멘탈이 튼튼해 보였습니다. 그래도 이제
But also bringing back,
따라가야죠.
matching it with
앞으로의
2-2,
남은
we could
세트
see your
이번엔
mentality
켜고
there,
전해주시기 바랍니다.
having that strength as a player there.
꼭 다 이겨가지고 런던 가도록
Because I'm in
하겠습니다.
the finals.
네, 알겠습니다.
I'm all the way
자,
this far. I made it all the way this far. I will be going to the
어떤
London after
선수가
taking the games.
우승을 하게 될지 기대해 주시고요. 저는 잠시 후에 우승자와 함께 시상식으로 돌아오겠습니다.
And Guru says I'll be back with. Well, it's me translating, guy. If you didn't know. Oh.
I thought her voice sounded a bit deep. I was
know.
getting confused of
Some
what was
people,
going on.
I used to translate for her for a few other games. For some people from the community says, why does she have a voice like a guy voice? And some person had a nightmare of her beauty with my voice in
Oh,
his
God.
dream. That is a nightmare. Yes.
Like even though you said it, like my heart just stopped beating. Like that would be the worst
Like
thing
in
that would
my
ever
dream,
happen.
like Yuri comes out, I was like, oh man, and then suddenly she speaks and my voice comes out from her. It's like, oh man, that's a nightmare for sure. But we're down to 3-2 right now. JungAng leading as it seems like Expo Master had his moments, but he's making some mistakes, which he did not at all from maybe 5 series before. Like the very first day and the second day, he made some mistakes. But after that, he was feeling comfortable. He never made any mistakes after that.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the issues with his extended break is that he lost all that
Maybe.
momentum.
Maybe that's right. Of course, JungAng also got a week off after the last stage, but this one, it's a pressure right now as it comes all the way to down. JungAng as a player who only needs one more, and if you take that into just the one number difference, but if you think of the mentality, Expo Master has to win both all the way to Game 7. He can still bring back. He has a chance, but he needs to make the perfect choice, you know. And when JungAng also has one more chance to make it up.
Yeah, so JungAng can actually try a couple different things here and kind of just take it easy, play very defensive. Like, Expo Master has to come at him. Expo Master, JungAng can tie this and then tie the next game and he goes through. He just needs to play defensive.
What if Expo Master takes Game 6 and we have a tie at 7? And another tie, and another tie, and another tie. But we're ready to jump into game number 6, guys. And JungAng, he only needs one more, and he will be the Korean champion of Global Series Korea. Let's get into game 6.
You do make a very interesting point. What if this ends in a draw? Do we send them both to London?
Well, I don't know. I think they'll just have another game, you know. And we almost, I believe it was game 2 or game 3. We almost went to the tiebreaker situation. But these players are crazily heavy, going in offensive and defensive at the same time.
Yeah, so it was game 3 that almost ended in a tie, and it started exactly like this. I mean, if it does go to a tie, it would be so harsh to go down to crown counts.
Well, only one more for JungAng. And tons of, I would say, a lot more pressure for Expo, of course. Expo Master. He's been holding, of course, Elixir Collector is banned out, and also Tornado is banned out from the series, so we can't use that. We can gladly in this tournament we didn't have any mistakes, anyone actually using the banned card, so we didn't have anything like that. But in the qualifiers we did.
There was
I
a lot.
remember Zebra, the oldest player, making that mistakes twice, I believe. And he had to drop the game.
He was going senile and forgot.
Maybe it has to do something with the age, you know.
Do you think that like Expo Master having last week off has kind of caused him to become a bit cocky?
I don't know. I
Like,
think
he
it
came in
just
last
has to do, but his Expo deck is blocked. Yeah, I think it's basically blocked from Game 5, and he also, I'm sure, as I felt it, Expo Master should have felt okay. JungAng was ready for my Expo deck. He was pretty ready when he was dropping the Knight. The timings, he knew how to counter exactly. So I'm pretty sure he brought something else right now.
Yeah, and this is starting up. Goblins and the Bandit played with a zap from JungAng. Expo Master kind of shook his head. I think he has Inferno Dragon or something like that, which would definitely benefit from not having the zap in the deck. But the Golem comes down for JungAng and a Mega Knight from Expo Master.
Right, but Inferno is actually a good counter tool against the Bandit coming in, but a few of his favorite cards, alright, also the Inferno Dragon.
This is a replay of game number 3 when Expo Master took it. There's the miner, he uses it to connect to the cannon card. I don't know if that's the right idea, but poison comes down. That Golem is making its way to the tower. Electro Wizard slowing it down while the Inferno Dragon does the work from the back.
It's about as even. Golems will do some more damage, but Bandit actually gets the charge to the other side. But once it gets the charge to the cannon card, actually,
yeah,
not
that
the
was
furnace
actually
this
beneficial.
time.
Like, the Bandit turning around was super beneficial for Expo Master because that Bandit ended up surviving a lot longer than it probably should have.
Golem to the other side.
And a Mega Knight straight away as the defense on that. Very good play, holding that back, making sure he has the elixir just in case JungAng decides to switch up and go for the other side. He needs to take pressure off that tower that has already taken 800 damage.
Well, JungAng does have the same ones, a very similar one from match 4. A few different ones, actually.
The miner connects onto that Electro Wizard and the cannon card, and the Inferno. Cannon card is in range, but the Bandit will take that out very, very quickly.
Nicely
and the
done.
Golem doesn't get any damage onto that tower.
Oh, the Electro Wizard actually resetting all the damage from Inferno Dragon. Another miner, but this does get the charge onto the tower too, but both sides attacking, jumps all around. Expo Master is pushing this crazily with the miner even.
This tower looks like it should go down. Mega Knight and Miner dealing so much work with the bats and the Inferno Dragon from behind.
JungAng is just dropping down everything. He seems like with the charge, that will be game. Expo Master brings it back. We're tied up 3-3. We're going to the last round.
What a game. Expo Master with that second Mega Knight there. He basically sealed that game. The bats behind the Inferno Dragon. It meant that anything that JungAng could put down wouldn't survive long enough to slow down that push.
All right, JungAng has lost both of his Golem decks.
Yeah,
One of the reasons why, of course, he does not have the Elixir Collector, but still he could have made that into a better situation. But Expo Master had a pretty good counter. I think the Bandit coming in was a huge factor. The cannon card couldn't really do too much damage from all the charges happening from the Bandit.
Yeah, and sorry, I lost my train of thought with that. Like, she was bobbing her tongue out, and I'm like, what the hell is she doing? But yeah, like, the Mega Knight. Every time that Golem came down, the Mega Knight was there, and the Mega Knight will slowly... It does a little bit of a pushback when it jumps onto that Golem, buying extra time for the Inferno Dragon to deal its damage onto it, to take out that Golem as quickly as possible. I don't think the Golem ever reached the tower.
Well, it barely did. It did a few hundred damage, and that was it. And Expo Master didn't really use the Inferno Dragon as an offensive tool, more so as a defensive tool, which was perfect against the Golem coming in. It did not connect to the Golem every single time perfectly, but still that defense was just enough. And JungAng having the Electro Wizard really did not follow up too much with the Golem, I would say, and also the decision to suddenly moving to the left side to attack with the Golem, that was a little interesting too.
He had to, though, because of the, like, if he carried on putting pressure onto that right side, he would open himself up to a counter attack that would take out that tower. It took too much damage. He needed to move the aggression onto the other side to try and, like, spread out that damage. It didn't work, though.
The last one, the final one. The very last set, number 7. What are they going to bring up? Maybe the ones they won with. I think JungAng may bring the game number 2 deck again. Expo Master, is he going to bring his specialty Expo again? Let's see. The final game is in their hands, and we are jumping in very soon. But this is the final one, so they're spending a lot of time talking about something. But I'm not too sure, but I'm ready. I'm excited and hyped to go in. The final one, the winner of this final game will become the champion, will become the Korean representative going straight to London. And we are ready, boys and girls. Let's go into game number 7.
And it all comes down to this. JungAng in the blue, Expo Master in the red. Winner takes everything after this game. I am super hyped for this one.
It goes to the full series. And they're both waiting as they know the pressure.
That's not what I want. I want this to start straight away. Here we go.
First Night Witch dropped from JungAng.
I thought they
Is
were
it going
both
to be the
gonna win.
Golem again? Let's see.
There's the Mega Knight. This looks like it might be the deck that has won Expo Master 2 games today.
Oh, Miner from JungAng this time. Okay, getting that.
Oh, I thought the Mega Knight was just in jumping range, but didn't quite. 2 hits from the Miner and the poison damage. But this Mega Knight is going to walk through pretty much unscathed from that.
So for the final one, JungAng's going to have some small
There's
damage.
that Giant. We saw this so effective in JungAng's last set of games. Will the Giant be as effective today? The Miner, though, from Expo Master did so much work.
A lot of damage. Tons of damage. Also this Bandit getting charged, and this Giant will be going down. But the Miner and the minions are just...
Whoa, that was way too much on the other side. We were focused, and I think Expo Master was heavily focused onto that Giant.
Ooh, the charge actually. Bandit coming in right behind the Mega
That's
Knight.
going down so
This is going
quickly.
down so quickly with the bats. That's going to be tower dropped already. Can JungAng make a biggest comeback in the tournament? This is a crazy in favor of Expo Master right now.
Who knew that bats could deal so much
do
damage
so
so
much
quickly?
damage. You know, the Bandit was hiding right behind the Mega Knight, so you couldn't really see it, but the charge went in and did straight damage.
This Miner as well dealing so much damage onto
Oh
this
man,
tower.
JungAng is losing his
JungAng,
mind
come
right
on,
now.
please. Don't let it end like this. Not like this, man. Not like this.
There's a poison spell. He has not given up yet, but the zaps,
Miner
all the
comes
damage.
in under the poison. It's going to attack the Bandit, though, not the tower, and the Bats will deal handily
The
with
minion
that.
horde is not going to do anything on the poison.
Expo Master has that smile on his face, that smile we only see when he knows that he has a powerful advantage going in. There's the Miner again, this time going, and the Bandit as well, but the Miner goes for the Night Witch.
Nice defense from JungAng, dropping down Giant and the Night Witch
There's the
there.
Inferno Dragon.
But
Will
he
that
can still attack. The bats are doing some damage, but he has the poison spell.
Yeah. And luckily that Electro Wizard is going to slow down that Giant, but is he going to slow it down enough? It's getting so close. Whoa, 200 health
But he's
left.
holding into, I believe, a spell, possibly. Let's see what he's holding. Seven more
And it was
seconds.
a log, it was a
is
log, it
not
was-
enough.
no.
Log is not enough. It doesn't even hit the tower. And that's going to be game over. Expo Master will take the series. He will be the Korean champion from Crown Championship Global Series Korea.
After game number 4, I thought it might have been over for Expo Master, but he pulls it out, ties it up, and takes the victory here. What a game, what a player, what a series, and I still cannot believe this is the youngest player we have in this competition.
My heart is still pumping, and even as a youngest player on that stress level, on that pressure level, this guy can pull off anything. He was down 3-2, of course not down 3-0 or anything, but still making a huge comeback, winning 4-3 against JungAng. What a crazy player we have, the youngest one in the tournament. He is going to be the Korean representative going to that global series.
Yeah, he's not just the youngest, he's also the player with the lowest trophy count. Like, the highest trophy count he has ever reached is about 1,000 trophies lower than most other players in this competition. Like,
yes.
what the hell?
For day number 1, the first time we played, we were mentioning that this guy has the lowest trophy. Maybe he's not going to survive for such a long time, but you know, his ID worked out pretty heavily in favor, because as an Expo Master, as an opponent, do I have to ban Expo every single time? And it worked out so well for himself, you know?
You know, after game week 2, I really wanted Expo Master to keep showing what he does. His playstyle is super fun to watch. Like, my voice is gone right now. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be this gone just from watching Expo Master. Last week I casted twice as many games and I was perfectly fine.
That's right. That means we brought that much energy, and here's the result: 4-3. JungAng, after a very, very nice counter attacks and lots of heavy ones, but without the Elixir Collector, I think that was a good band coming out from Expo Master, and Expo Master will be the winner of the grand finals of Global Series Korea. Man, tonight's games has been amazing. I would say amazing will be the best word to capture all the action. It has been beautiful. The counterplays, the defense and offensive tools. These players are, you know, on top. They should be like on top of the global chart, you know, ladder.
I am looking forward to seeing Expo Master take his pretty much unique style. He plays a very different style from what I've seen in other regions. I am super excited to see Expo Master head over to London, and hopefully, like, I'm not biased or anything. I'm British as well, but I want to see Expo Master take the global series, and I think he can do it.
Yep, he has the mechanics and he has the mentality to hold into any kind of pressure and to come back, to have this kind of major comeback in the series. I mean, I'm impressed. I was amazed by both players, but of course, even more from Expo Master to be the youngest. Of course, oftentimes at an esports, we do have an award ceremony.
I had to wait for that to come through.
글로벌 시리즈 코리아 시상식이 이어지도록 하겠습니다.
Global Series Korea, we'll be having the
정말 멋진
award ceremony.
보여준 선수에게 잠시 후 시상을 통해서 이 뜨거운 박수로 축하해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
And with a big round of applause, please congratulate your winner, your champion tonight.
도와주시도록 하겠습니다. 자, 무대 위로 나와 주시죠. 네.
We'll also have the awardee from Supercell.
먼저 클래시 로얄 크라운 챔피언십 글로벌 시리즈 우승자입니다. 대형 석궁 장인 황신웅 선수입니다.
We'll have Chris Cho giving the award, presenting the award to Expo Master, the champion of Global Series Korea.
Yeah, Expo Master doesn't know what he's doing with himself.
He's just super happy that he won and not giving up all the way to the end.
심리적으로 많이 밀렸을 텐데 대단한 모습 보여준 대형 석궁 장인 선수. 자, 시상을 시작하겠습니다.
Let's start the award ceremony.
네, 축하드립니다.
He'll be getting the golden crown for himself.
상금 1,000만 원이 수여됩니다.
And also
한번 축하드립니다.
10 million won
네.
as a champion.
자, 이렇게 시상을 도와주신 조연조 e스포츠 총괄께도 감사드리고요.
So thanks
저희도
again to Chris Cho
돌아가시면
for
감사하겠습니다.
presenting the award.
네, 이렇게 트로피 전달이 끝났습니다. 오늘 이렇게 멋진 경기력 보여준 이 대형 석궁 장인 선수와도 이야기를 나눠보지 않을
And
수가
let's
없어요.
have a talk with Expo
소감이
Master a little bit
어떠신가요?
more. How do you feel right now?
우승해서 너무 기쁘고
I'm just so glad I won,
다리가 너무 떨리는데
and my legs are
그래도
shivering right
런던
now.
가서 꼭 좋은 성과 내도록 하겠습니다.
But I'll
와,
go to the global stage
벌써
and
런던을
try
이야기하고
to
계시네요.
do
사실
well.
조금
You know,
전에
you're already
인터뷰에서
talking about London.
세트스코어에서 밀릴 때 이야기를
When you were
했었거든요.
behind by 3-1, 2-1, also 3-2. Were you not nervous at all?
떨리긴 했는데 제가 준비한 덱을 최대한으로 활용하면은
Well, I was kind of
충분히
nervous,
이길 수 있다고 생각해가지고
but I was ready to use all my decks that I prepared, and I knew I had chances to beat him if I was using my decks to the maximum.
대한민국 대표로 영국에 간다는 그런 의미도 있습니다.
Now you'll be going
어떤
to the
의미로
London as a
다가오시나요?
Korean representative. How do you feel about that?
처음에 제가 예선전에 왔을 때
First when I went to the qualifiers,
국가대표가 된다는 건 생각도 안 했는데
I never thought I'll be the representative of my own country.
어색하다고 할까
But it's kind of weird and awkward at the same time,
떨립니다.
and
네,
I'm
어린
still
나이에
nervous
정말
on the
대단한
stage.
이 모습 보여주셔서 정말 저희도
But even with that,
감사드립니다. 자, 그렇다면 오늘
you were just so
결승전을
confident to bring this win.
중계진과도 바로 이야기를
And of course,
나눠보겠습니다.
we'll also have to talk to the Korean casters. Also, let's talk.
우승을 차지한 대형 석궁장인 선수 여러분 뜨거운 박수
And
한번
let's have a big
부탁드리도록
round of applause as.
다리가 지금 많이 떨려가지고
He's-
비행기까지도 걸어가야 되는데
But you have to get on flight. You have to walk into the airplane and go to the London. You know.
훨씬 더 멋진 모습을 또 보여줬으면 좋겠다라는 말씀.
And also, final. How was all the cast? We've been casting for the first time, but for so long time, for weeks. Simon, how was it?
It has been such a roller coaster of games. We've seen stumps, we've seen things that was so close we didn't know what was happening. Like, it's been such a good tournament. And honestly, my throat feels like it needs to take a very, very long vacation.
Oh yeah, that's right. This finals was maximum games possible. That was nicely done. Expo Master, of course,
네, 오늘
winning
이렇게
the
결승전
entire
저를 불러주셔서
tournament.
정말
He will be the
감사했고요.
Korean
또
champion,
정말
and
재밌는
I am
경기들과
very
함께 즐길
proud
수
to
있어서
present the
저도
Korean
특별한 시간이었습니다.
representative going to the London. I wish him best of luck, of course. And of course, our first cast we improved, we had developed through the cast. We learned a lot. We played lots of games together. We worked on, and that's it. That's the end of the grand finals. We will be closing very soon as Casser closes his comment. I'm just waiting for his sign, guys. But
It has been an honor
Yes.
and a privilege to cast the Crown Championship Global Series Korea for everyone out there. If you like what you see, make sure to tune in to the Global Series Finals in, what is it, 1 week, 2 weeks it kicks off?
in this first week of December, I think that's going to be it. But what Simon said, exactly, I'll be saying the same thing. But that's going to be it. Goodbye, guys, and that's going to be it. Keep rooting for Expo Master, the Korean representative who will be going to London.